Hello everybody and welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, a Sudoku app. Let's see where we were last time. Going through the variety pack. Let's do a thermo. Every row, column, and box must have all numbers from 1 to 9 exactly once. Numbers must increase as they move along thermometers starting at the bulb. Alright, so we can get 1 in there. So 1s and 9s are most restricted by thermometers. But I don't see anything obvious here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 seems fine. These are very long thermos. I could fully notate, which may actually be worth... Oh, 2! Where does 2 go? That's too bad. I was thinking I could get a 2 here. But 2 can't go in any of these, because it would force a 1 here, and then this would be a 0. So 2 must be somewhere in here. And this could go 1, 2, or 2, whatever number. But it does mean we can lock 2 into one of these 2 spots. 2 into one of those 2 spots can't be at the end of a thermo, so it would force 1, 0, -1, -2, -3. It should not be good. Oh, 1! Right, that's a bit obvious. That puts a 1 up here. Alright, now that must do something. Such as waking up my dog. No, I don't see that doing much. Except it forces this being a 2 at minimum. Could this be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? No. That can't be 5. Could this be 3, 5, 6, 8? That must be a 2 then. Right? Yeah, this can't be a 4, so it would have to go 3, 5, 6. It can't be 7, 8. Can't be 9. So it's got to be a 2. So this is most likely a 3, but I'll full notate here. Let's see what happens if it's 5. 5, 6, 8. Yeah, it's not a 5. If it is a 4, 5, 6, 8. No, oh, it doesn't work either. Okay. So that locks a 3 over there. This is 8. Can this be 6? 3, 4, 5. No, it's never a 6. Okay, and then this can be... Can it be 5, 6, 7? No. Okay, so that's 4. I think I could just use the same logic, but I will keep checking. This can't be 6, so it would force 8 there. That's a 5. This... Oh, it can't be 7 because of that. And it can't be 8 because that can't be 9. So that's got to be a 6. And now, where does 2 go? It's got to go there. And where does... what's the missing digit? 8. Goes there, and that's a 7. Locks a 7 into one of those 2 spots. So we know 7 and 4 there. Four in one of those 2 spots. I just assume there's more I could do with the bulbs. I just have to figure out where the 1s will end up being. One cannot be in this cell. If you look at the logic. Because if a 1 was here, that would force a 0 there. So 1 can't be in any of these 4 cells in this cell by Sudoku, so that's a 1. Does that help? We know that there's a max of 1, 1 in these 2 cells. So one of them will have to be a 3 or higher. Can this be a 3? I feel like it can't, but let's try it. 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's very tight. 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Seems possible though. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. This can't be a 3. Okay, what can this be? Can this be 4? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It would be very tight for that to be. It can't be a 4 Sudoku, right? So that's a 1. Which slots a 1 into one of those two. And now this is 3. Can it be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? No, that's a 3. That is terrific news. Because this has to grow, so where does 3 go in this column? It's got to be there. Three in this square is restricted in kind of a weird way, but it is. 3 somewhere in here, but who really knows? Alright, now this is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. That's big. That is very useful. That's a lot of numbers. Now, is there anything else I can do with these 2s? Can this be 4? 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9 seems possible. 5. Can't be 5. So this is exactly 2 or 4. And this is 3, 5. Can't be 7. This is 4. 6, 7, 8. Yeah. Can't be 7. So this is 5 or 7. Wow. And this could be anything from 6 to 8. Can't be 9. Oh, it can't be 9! I don't know if that helps. It seems important, though. So low end 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. High end 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But now, what's the lowest number? We're missing 3 in here. 3 is there. 4 is missing. Oh, 4 is missing. That's very useful. 4's got to be in one of those 2 cells. And I don't think it necessarily has to be on here, because it could go 2, 3, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. But that makes this a 4. Oh, also Sudoku makes this a 4 because there's a 4 up there. So now we're missing 3, 4, 5. Oh, where does 3 go? 3 can't go here because that would force a 1 or a 2 there. So 3 must go here. And that does get a digit. And that does get another digit, and now this can't be a 4, so it's got to be the 2. I think that's big. And now, what else are we missing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's got to go 5. That's the smaller number. 6 is the bigger number. Five in one of those two cells. What am I saying here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 9. Where does 9 go? It's got to be in one of those two because of the bulb there. Oh, also this 9. I mean, 7 could still be in the bulb, theoretically. Oh, this 7 in the grid by Sudoku is useful. And that makes a 9-7 pair. So now this is solved. It has to be the odd one out, which is 6. So now this is an 8, because there's no 7, there's no 9. So it has to be 8. And now this has to be 5. Yeah? 5 in one of those two cells. There might be something I can do with thermo logic, but let's just keep looking at Sudoku logic. Alright, 5 in this square is solved. Don't see anything else I can do with 5. So we're missing 4, 6, and 8. 8 in one of those two. 4 in one of those two. 6 unrestricted right now. No real way to get a handle on ones. I guess I'll just denote that, because I might as well. This row and this row. This one's missing 3 things. 5 is there. 6. Well, 6 in that square is restricted. 6 is pretty much a wild card. Yeah, it's just a wild card there. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 is there. Whoops. So 5, 6, and 9, and this can't be 5 or 9, so that's got to be 6, right? Yeah. Which makes this a 5-9 pair. Might as well just write that down. Oh, where does 9 go in this box? 9 must be in one of those 3 cells, so that can't be 9. Now I'm missing 1 and 8. And there's 8 right there. So that figures that out. Now we've got 1, which is lined up with this 5, so that's got to be a 3. That's got to be a 1, because it has to be lower. Which is very usable. That solves a lot of things. And I think the whole puzzle should be pretty much done now. Just gotta figure out where everything goes. Got 2 6s there. We've got 2 thermos left. But this one, it doesn't really matter if it's 7 or 9, it'll work. This one is probably the next one to look at. This can't be a 2 anymore. If that was a 2 before, so 1 there. We know there can't be a 1 there because of that. Does that 2 dismissal do anything? Not really. 2, 4, and what else is missing? 9? Oh, that doesn't help much. 6. And what else? 8. So that's gotta be the 8. That's gotta be the 6. That's gotta be the 6. And I think 6s should be pretty close to done now. Oh, now this is an 8. That's a 4-6 pair. 8 was here, it would force a 9 here, which is still frustratingly possible. Where does 9 go in this column? It's gotta be there. And that finishes off this bit, and this bit. And that all gets done. I'm missing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, 4. 1 and 4 in there. Whoops. Two, I just feel like it's in the bold, but that's not good enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in here. Nine in one of those two cells. 9 in all those. Two, 9, and what else? 8. Dang. 8 could be in either one of those, but it does line up with the 2s, so this is a 9. Still somehow does not solve the puzzle, which is kind of crazy. That could be 2 or 8, because 9 is like the least restrictive number in all of history. 2 is somewhere in there. Threes are done. Wait, no, they aren't. That must be important. That gets a 2-9 pair. Kind of a deadly pattern. Ah, 7s. It's all the 7s. Alright, on to the 8s. That's where the 8 goes. Okay. Not as deadly a pattern as I had feared. And now it's just marking things off. Okay, scary ending, but not bad. 4 stars. Thank you. Non-consecutive Battenburg. I've never heard of this, so I'm very curious. Alright, non-consecutive. 2 directly adjacent numbers cannot be consecutive, so I can't have a 4 next to a 5. Checkerboard Battenburg dot marks the 2x2 squares of cells where top left and bottom right, so these two cells would be both even or both odd. And the top right and bottom left cells are the opposite. All positive dots are marked, so it's a negative constraint as well. Let's see, 2 in here, somewhat restricted. 2 in here is in one of those 2 spots. 3 is in one of those 3 spots. One of those 3 spots. I might as well notate this, go crazy with it. 3 in here is actually somewhat restricted. Non-consecutive is a very interesting constraint because you can find out a lot. Unfortunately, this cell, I'd love to be able to narrow this down to 2 if this cell couldn't be a 3. None of these... Oh, actually, yeah. How do I color? There we go. I forget what Simon did for... I think reds or oranges for the ones that are odd. And these are the opposite, so these have to be even then. Wait. They still look green to me. Oh. When they're like highlighted. I don't really like that they do that, but so this can't be 2 or 4. So it would have to be 6 and 8. And this is also true, so this would also be 6 and 8. So that does give a 6-8 pair in this row here, which is interesting. And that rules out 7s. Oh, that's very interesting. Okay. So what is this? 9, 5, or 1? That's still pretty good. Alright, 1's in here somewhere. 5's in here somewhere. Don't see too much else I could do with that. But there's probably more I can do with the Battenburg. Two in this cell. It can't go next to a 3. It's got to be there. That seems important. 2 in this square. This is something I learned from Miracle Sudoku. It can't go here because it would have forced a 3 on either side. So 2 in here is in one of those 3 cells. 4 in this box can be pencil marked because it can't go next to the 3. Same for this box, but it's a lot less constrained. Oh, 4 in this box is also solvable. There's not really much I can do with 4s there. 4s do restrict 5? Wow, yeah, they restrict 5. 5 can't go there. So where does 5 go in this box? It can't go there because of that 5. It can't go there because of these 4s, so it's got to go in one of these 2 spots, which forms a line. And 5 in that box is pretty restricted, but I'm not going to notate that because it's annoying. I might notate this box, though, just because it overlaps with the 3s, which is interesting. Okay, is there much else I can do? 3s here, not really. 4s here, kind of, maybe. Nah, there's not much else. Any way to restrict a 1, 5, or a 9? I don't really see it. And 6s and 8s. I have no 6ers or 8s in the grid. I'm just gonna highlight all the even numbers, which might not even necessarily make this easier. And make them all blue. And then I'll just highlight all these guys and make them red. I really wish there was a way to like click off the grid so I could just see it, but I guess it's alright. So we know in each row and column and box there's exactly 4 evens and 5 odds. One is either here or here in this row. Is there anything similar I can get? With like 5s or something? Not particularly. Wait, I could do some logic. This thing is in this cell, so there's exactly 1 even in those 3 cells. So these are mostly odd. But I don't know how much that helps. I don't have any other digits in any of these things. This 3 is highly likely to be in this box, but it could be there. Yeah, I really don't see much. It's a pretty empty grid. I guess that does restrict ones slightly. Ones are over here. And now one has to be in one of those 3. So that's really not notatable. Threes and 5s. The 4 doesn't really affect anything else in the square. 3s up here? I don't know though. This is a very tricky one to be in the variety pack. 2 can't be here now, which is like such a non-restriction, but it's true. Because like, who cares that 2 can't be there? It slightly is almost usable if you look in the column logic, but it does not help that much. I'm just gonna notate these 2s. They restrict 1 to being in one of those 4 cells. But now we're getting like Tetris pieces. This is pretty far from actually solving the puzzle. I say as I continue to notate. Oh, I actually do get something now. Right, this can't be a 1. And this can't be a 1. So 1s in this column must be there. Does that help at all? Not really. Well, I guess 1 is either there or there. Oh. That is maybe potentially useful. That's gotta do something. The thing is, like, in my head, I'm thinking this eliminates 2 odd possibilities, so it's kind of unlikely that these are both odd, but it's possible. And if this was even, it would have to be 2 or 8. but I can't really come up with any reason either of those would be wrong. Because there's just so few things on the board. I might actually use a hint for the first time. I'm gonna give it a little longer though. Ones, they only restrict two. Two in these two cells, but there's already a 2 in there, so who cares? There's 3 evens! Okay, this might actually be usable. Hold up. There's 3 evens in here. And we know where 2 goes, so this has to be odd. So what can it be? It's gotta be 159. It can't be 3, and it can't be 7, because it's next to a 6 or an 8. Does that do much? I don't know. Five in here is somewhat restricted. This is either 1, 2... Seven. Too many possibilities. Oh, where does 7 go? Right? We already ruled out 7 can't be in any of these, so 7 must be in one of those 3. What about... No, 1, 5, and 9. Yeah, it's not quite a pair yet. It's a triple. 3 possibilities is not great, but we also know where 4 goes in here, so these are both odd, guaranteed. One of these is even, one of these is odd, so let's full notate. I don't know, we'll go crazy. Could it be 1? No. Could it be 3? No. Could it be 5? No. Could it be 7 or 9? Yes. It's better. It's better than nothing, slightly. This can't be a 1 or a 3, so it's got to be 5, 5, 7, 9. I feel like there's probably more we could get there. Don't see anything, though. Are there any other squares? We're so close on this one, because we know where 3 evens are. So if we could figure out where the last one went, that would help. Where does 4 go in this area? It's got to be in one of those 2 cells. Because it can't be next to the 5. That is tricky to see. It can't be next to the 3. Okay. Is that usable? That restricts 5. Ah, 5s are already restricted. Thank you, game. Wait. The 4s are over there. This can't be a 4. This has got to be a 4. This is blue because it's even. Which means 3 is restricted. By a lot. By a lot. Wait, that was... Wait. Does this work? Can I say that if this is a 3, this is a... Wait, can... Wait. Can I have the same number twice in a... What's it called? The gamer square? Where is it? A Battenburg dot? Could I have 2 1s or whatever? That might be a thing. I hope that's not a thing, because that would be annoying. But it's probably a thing. And it makes it harder. Okay, let's hold on. We just got a 4. There's probably more I can do with a 4. somewhere. Behold, 4s go there somewhere. I still don't know anything about 6s or 8s. Well, I know something about 6s or 8s. I know that they go... 6s go in one of those. Don't know anything about 8s though, actually. Six can't go here. This is the most useful piece of information I could have come up with. Sixes can't go there. That's maybe usable. Six is up there somewhere. Six is in here. Six is in there. Six is there. Hold on a second. No, that's nothing. Wow. Oh, I hate that. Actually, sixes can't be there because of the 6-8 pair, right? That's a 1-4 pair. Is that right? Yeah. Right. This one got forced in there because of this logic. This 4. Right, it can't be there because of down there. So that's a 1-4 pair. Gotta be usable somehow. 2 up there. 3 is in there. 4, 5 is in there. 6 is in 3 cells, man. What am I gonna do with that? 8 is somewhere. TM. All possible dots are marked. That's gotta be important, right? Wait, it's like, it's so specific. It's true that this can't be a even? Right? Say this was 2, then these would both be even, and these would both be odd. And there would have to be a thing there. So that can't be a 2, right? That might be the key to solving it. Now we've got 2 locked in there. Which means this can no longer be a 2. Which makes this a slightly harder restriction. 3s can't go in there, but obviously who cares? 3s are there. But this can't be even. This can't be even at all. Is there more? These can't both be odd, but one of them could be. What can the square be? It could be 1. Can't be 3. Could be 5, 7, 9, I think. Is there any reason this can't be 5? Not that I can see. So exactly one of these is even, exactly one of them is odd. And this can be 7. These can't both be even, but I don't really care. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Like, at all. That they both can't be even until I know what one of them is. Because one of them could be even. But now I know that... Is that useful? There's exactly one even here. So there's exactly one even here. And there's exactly one odd here and exactly one odd here. That feels like way too abstract to do anything with. I don't want to give up because that's what hitting the hint button feels like. Let's look at ones for the millionth time. Maybe that'll help. Well, one of these is odd, one of these is even. One of these is odd, one of these is even. One of these is odd, one of these is even. Where do the... This ends up being odd. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Okay, that's 1. Can't be 3. Yeah, I don't see any reason it can't be 1. This can be even or odd. That's... It doesn't matter. These are all odd. Dang. This puzzle feels like brutal. Do I know anything about... No, I don't know anything about 2s here. There's exactly 1, 2 there. There could be 2 evens here, actually. I don't see anything wrong with that. If this were odd, this couldn't be even. Wait. Yeah, if this is 1, this wouldn't be allowed to be an even number, which I think is fine. It could be 6 or 8. Hold on, there's exactly 1 even here. Oh my god, that actually is useful. Hold on, look. That's 4 evens. 1 in one of these 2 cells, and then 4 here. So those are all odd numbers. And there's exactly 1 even, exactly 1 odd there. That's gotta do something. I guess I'll just full notate and see where that goes. This can't be 3 or 1. So that's 5, 7, 9. Can I reduce the 5 anywhere? Anyhow? Someday I'll be old enough to do what I want to. I think this one's a wild card. Yeah. Well, that's another 179. So if I can get another 179, that would help. Um... Oh my gosh, wait, this actually works. Where does 2 go? It's in one of those 2. And we know there's 2 evens there, and 1 even there. This has to be odd. We might be able to just figure out everything that's even or odd. Potentially, anyways. Don't want to get your hopes up. 3, 5, 7, 9. Can it be reduced to 5 anyhow? Don't really see any way to do so. It's 2 evens, that doesn't help yet. 1, 2, 3 evens. I don't think there's anything else I can do to restrict evens more here. Oh my god, wait, look. It's actually doable here. 1 even, 2 even, 3 even. I need another even. It can't be there because that's odd, so this is even. Therefore, it's very likely to be 2, right? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. 2, 6, or 8. Can't be 6 next to a 5. 2 or 8. That's like a pair. That's something. Um, 1 here, 1 here. Yeah, that doesn't do much. 1 here. I'm at 3. I'm so close to just full notating, honestly. There's definitely got to be an easier way to get this going. There's 2 evens left in here. There's 3 odds left in here by that same token. I don't really see anywhere else to use the negative constraint yet. The problem is I'm getting like all these evens and odds next to each other that don't really help. This one and this one have potential, but I don't know enough about these 2 spaces. Besides that they can't be 3s or 1s. So they could be pretty much anything. I mean, I'm looking at 7s. Like, that's barely possible just because of this. The 6/8s, where can 7s go? And then this square just totally ruins it. Oh, I hate that square. Because, like, if you look at this, you think, oh, 7s are restricted from all of those, so there's 4 cells left it could be. But that's just not quite enough to do anything with. If it was 3, I could reduce, 6 and 8 from being in there or whatever. But I already have a pair, so who cares? So much of this just ends up being a who cares. 4s somewhere in there. Who knows? Fours restrict 3s and 5s. This can't be a 3 because of the 4s. I'm sure it's possible because I keep figuring out like new ways to put evens and odds, but how do I get digits and not just chicken scratch? This is crazy hard to be one of the starter puzzles. Kind of makes me not want to get the DLCs because, like, what if they're even harder than this? I should check the hint, but I'm stubborn. Am I really gonna be here for 2 hours? I probably shouldn't stare at puzzles, because apparently that's bad. Because, like, you have to give your brain breaks. I'm just gonna check a hint. Place 4 in box 7. Place 2 in box 8. Where can 4 go in box 8? Then where can 4 go in box 2? Yeah. Okay, this looks like mucho texto, so this must be the next step. The even cells next to the 3 in box 8 must be 6, 8, as they cannot include 2 to 4. The same is true in box 7. Now the odd digit on these Bratton's rigs that is not... Fuck, that's confusingly worded. Now the odd digit on these Battenburgs that is not the 3 sees 6 and 8, so cannot be 5, 7, 9, it must be 1. Oh my god. Wow. Yeah, that's something Simon would have seen in a second, but I'm new to this. If a 5 is here, this could be 8, but this would have to be a 6. And that would break. If a 9 was here, this could be a 6, but that would have to be 8, and it would break. So this can only be a 1. And now this can't be a 2. So that's 2. And now 2's here. I actually end up eliminating a 3, which is very usable. Let's color in these new evens now. And now we've got 2 evens. Oh, so we can do the rest of the coloring for this Battenburg. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Don't know this one yet. Oh, this has to be odd because of the 6, 8 pair there. And now we got 2, 3 evens. Don't really know how that shakes out quite yet anyways. Five can't go next to 4. These can't be 5s anymore because 5 is in one of those 2 cells, so it can't be there or there. So this is a 5 guaranteed. Money back guarantee. That must be good. This can't be a 3. Thank you. Oh my gosh, world's nicest 2 right there. What a clutch, homie. Okay, where does this 3 go? Can't go there. It's gotta be there. And now that is red. And you are red. And you are red. And you are red. And you are both blue. There might be more we can figure out with the negative constraint. Oh my gosh, look at this. See how these two interact? Let's say this was odd and this was even. There would have to be a thing here, and there's no thing here. So this has to be even, because they can't connect. Therefore, these are both odd. And now place the 1 and the 4. This has to be 6 or 8, which lines up with this very nicely. And now we have to place a 7, 9, and 1. And look at that, it's the same trick. Right? Because there can't be a 3, and there can't be a 5. Well, there can't be a 5 in here anyways, because that's just... Wait, no, it's not the same. There's a 4 there. What am I doing? There just can't be a 7. There could be a 1. There might be a 1. Yeah. 1, 3, 5. Can't be 7. Could be 9. Still kind of restricted. Kind of works. My voice got really high there. Where does 5 go? It's got to go in one of those 2 cells. In this box, because this is even. Which means 5 has to go in one of those 2 cells. Feels usable, maybe. Oh, look at this box. And how many odds it has in it. It has 5 odds. And needs 4 evens, so this has to be even. So can this be 5? I don't think so. So this is either 7 or 9. Which weirdly enough eliminates this from being an 8. So it's a 2 or a 6. That looks right to me. I don't have A6s in the grid yet, so I can't even click on them. Wow. I have to like move the cursor off so I can actually look at the things I want to look at. So I highlight like the opposite of what I want to actually highlight because it messes up the coloring for the row it's in and the column. Oh boy, that is annoying. There's 1 even left here. These are a 6-8 pair. 4 is somewhere here. So all the evens are accounted for. So these have to both be odd. Yeah. That seems right to me. Now we're missing 1, 5, 1, 3, 5, 7. 9. Oh, 5 isn't there. We're missing 1, 3, 7, and 9. I don't really see anything yet. Alright, let's look if there's any new negative constraint stuff we can do. There's exactly 1 even left in box 4. That feels usable. I don't know how. Ah, it is usable. Look. This column right here. See how many evens it's got in it? 1, 2, and 3. It still needs an even, so it's got to be in one of these 2 cells. That finishes up all the evens. So now this has to be, can't be 1, 3, 5. It's 7 or 9. But it can't be 7 because the 6, 8. That actually gets a digit. That's crazy. That's crazy that that worked that well. This could still be 9. Don't get fooled by the pencil marks. They're not complete. And now this also can't be 7, right? But we know it's odd. There's still 1 odd left here. I think it, yeah. It's got to be a 1. I agree with the pencil marks on that one. One somewhere in there, who knows yet? Don't lose steam here. There's one even, one odd there. Is there more I could figure out with threes? Where's three go in this box? Wow, three's actually solvable in this box because it can't go in between these two twos. Can't go next to the four or the two. And it can't be here. I don't remember why, because of this three down here. Three can't go next to the four. Might actually solve the threes. Now this can't be a two anymore, which restricts the twos into this line, which is nice, but I don't think it does much. Yeah, it's nice. It doesn't do much. Okay, back to the... Was I looking at fives or threes? Threes? Threes somewhere in there. That's not too useful. We're missing 6, 8, and 7. I guess I'll full notate that. 6, 8, 7. And then what can this one be? It can't be a 6, so it's an 8 or a 7. Still don't have a single 7 in the grid, by the way. Which is rough. But we are getting progress, so eventually I'll find my way around. One is pretty restricted in here. I can't go next to a 2. And I can't go next to a 2 up there. So this is 1. It might have been 1 for a while and I just now noticed, but now we're done with 1s, I think? No. Unfortunately, they can go up there. 1 only restricts 2s, so it doesn't really matter in terms of non-consecutive stuff. But now this square is pretty close to being done. We have a 7-9 pair, so this is a 6 or 8. Don't really see anything that helps with yet. But give it time, maybe I will. This could be even or odd. This could be even or odd. If we find out this is odd, we'll know that this has to be even, which could be good. 2 is next to a 3, which can't be. Look at me rhyming. Now this is blue. And I think that 2 disrupted some pencil marks, which is very nice for me. Can't go next to the 1s. Also this 2 by obvious Sudoku, but yeah. 6. Is this really my first 6? Let's check on it. It can't be an 8 because it's next to a 6 or a 9. It can't be a 2 or a 4. Yeah, that's a 6. That's an 8. And that's going to unwind like everything I've done. And now we got 6 next to a 5 or a 9, so it's a 9. That's a 7. That's a 9. That's a 7. That's a 9. That's a 7. That's a 6. That's an 8. That's a 7. That's a 5. That's a 7. That's a 7. That's a 1. That's the last one. That's an 8. 6. Alright, so now we know this is odd. This is even. These are both odd, therefore these are both even. We've got 4 evens, so these are both odd. We've got 5, so these are all even. There's 1 even here. 1 even here. 1 even here. Okay, let's keep going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can't go next to the 5. Can't go next to the 7 either. How did I determine this was odd again? Oh yeah, because there's 1 even in there. Okay. So yeah, 6 is in one of those 2 cells. One of those 3 cells. I guess I'll notate it. I might as well. We're missing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 8 is there, so that's an 8, that's a 9. And now this whole section is all done, which is very nice. Look at how pretty it is when it's all highlighted. 8 is up there somewhere. 5 and 7. Can't do much with 7 yet. Can't go there. 7 and 4. There's probably more I could do with that. I don't really see anything right now, though. Oh, now I have to highlight this one to look at the logic here. Why are these blue? Oh, right, because they're blue. There's a 6 in one of these 2 cells, so this must be odd. Because there's exactly 1 there. Oops. I figured out what happens if you right-click. I was trying to figure out how to deselect. I don't know if there's a way to deselect. Just look at the puzzle. Oh, you're not red anymore. I can fix that, don't worry. Exactly 1 here. Well, not necessarily exactly 1. Alright, let's just go through all the numbers. 2, 3, 4, 5. Can this be a 4? I don't think so, because it eliminates 5 from both of those. That breaks the puzzle. So this is a 4. Therefore it is blue. 4 in there somewhere. And now we have 4 blues, so this has to be red. And that's a 5 or a 9. And look, there's a 5 right there. Five and 8 are missing here. Five and 8 are missing here. Alright, let's just full notate at this point, because I don't think 9 affects any of these too much. I don't think 9 affects anything except 8s. That can be 8. Which doesn't help here. No squares anywhere in the grid except here. I think these 6s line up. Hold on. There can't be a 2, 4, or 8 here, so there has to be a 6 in one of these two. And there's a 2, 4, 8 here, so there's a 6 in one of these two. So this can never be a 6. So this is a 6. Wow, that was a hard fought get there. And now this has to be red. And now there's 1 here. 1 up there. I still don't really know how that shakes out. Three, 9. 5, 7. Okay, hold on. Exactly 1 even in one of these two squares. This can't be a 5, it's next to a 6. That's probably the obvious way to solve it. Okay. Hey, I'll take it. That's all the 5s and almost all the 7s. Alright, so now we're missing exactly 1 even. So this has to be odd. This can't be a 3, because it's next to a 4. Six can't be next to 7. Wow. Oh, I should have colored it in. I didn't finish. That might be one of the coolest Sudokus I've ever done. I might have used 5 hints, but I really just used 1 hint because Killer Sudoku. I do not like Killer Sudokus just because I don't really have a math brain. There's a classic in here? Kind of want to finish up with the classic, but that might be like secretly super duper hard. I'll try it. We'll see. That was such a good one though. What a cool puzzle. I'm gonna immediately forget what that variant is called though, because it's such a long name. This looks too easy. I'm suspicious. Very sussy puzzle. Must be a good one to be included in the guest puzzle section. Wow, it's already that done. What? Yeah, I was 7. I was like, wait, why is 6 wrong? I just didn't see that there's a 6 down there. Wow. Okay, I actually finished all this. Threes are done. And that is another digit already. Another digit already. This puzzle really cuts to the chase, I guess. Okay, there's definitely gonna be something funny going on with these 6s. Yeah, like 6s there. 1s are a wild card. 9s there. Almost. Oh, there we go. Well, it's actually kind of flowing here. I do feel like there's got to be something like really hard coming up though. Just feels like too easy. Ooh, especially with that. That looks weird. We're getting digits surprisingly. Just by looking around. Okay, now is when it probably gets tricky. I'll do one last run through here before I start looking at other logic. Besides the obvious one. It could be a 6. That cell's pretty close to breaking. Yeah, this feels like something weird on the 6s. With like row 2. I feel like row 2 is something tricky. Hold on. What about these two cells? Missing a 7 and what else? A 1? They're still pretty much wildcard numbers though. I miss my non-consecutive rule. My good friend would tell me that this couldn't be a 1. This couldn't be a 1. Oh, it would break the puzzle actually, because there'd be nowhere to put a 1 in this area. Alright, 6s. I'm sure there's some obvious reason a 6 here doesn't work. Or something. Okay, 6 here. 6 here. 6 here. 6 here. 6 here. Does it breaky? Seems to work. Okay, 6 here. 6 here. 6 here. 6 here. 6 here. Does that break? Fuck, it does! God, I hate this logic. Oh man. This is why I don't like classic Sudokus. Look at the 6-9 cell. See what happens if it's a 9? It's not good. It's not good if that's a 9. Because now this is a 9. And this is a 9. But hold on, it's highlighted. Doesn't that mean it's a 6? It doesn't work. Oh boy, do I sure love plugging numbers in random spots to see if they work. I don't... I mean, this is the one thing about Sudoku that kind of irritates me is... It's like, just check if a 6 works in every square and, you know... It's still fun, it's still a puzzle. It's fun, I swear, I swear! Alright, what was... Oh yeah, because this can't be a 6 now. I kind of wish they wouldn't adjust your pencil marks before you had, like, time to realize what you've realized. That is one other thing that annoys me a bit. And now it's pretty much just done. 6-star difficulty. I don't know. I just think it's kind of lame to just have to like guess basically and then see, does puzzle break if I put X piece in Y spot? Because when I was newer, I would just guess because I was like, this seems BS. It still kind of seems BS. And I don't get why it's not bifurcation, which Simon says is bad, but anyways, despite that souring my mood a bit, this puzzle was really cool. Are there any more like it if I get the DLC? I might get the DLC then. I don't see anything. It says Battenburg. I do want to compliment Prasanna Seshadri. These are some very good puzzles. It's just I don't like that at all, really. Should I try a killer? Nah. I'll look at the arrow, though. Arrows, the numbers along the shaft of each arrow must sum to the number at the base. So basically, like, look at this one. It has to be at least 3. Because the minimum in 2 cells is a 1 and a 2. This square is interesting. Actually, all these squares are pretty interesting. So you can never put a 1 in a bulb. It's kind of the same thing as a thermo. You also can't put a 9 in the lines. But you could put a 9 in the bulb, which is interesting. So if you look like it where a 9 could go, it could go anywhere in there. 1s can't go in the bulb, so they could go anywhere there. These have to be pretty high, right? Ah. This one can't be 7 or 9. So let's see how low we could take this. Let's say this was a 3. Well, I mean, it can't be a 3. 1, 1, 2, that's a 4 at least. Could it be a 4? 4, 1, 2, 1. No. That can't be a 4, right? Because, yeah, you could repeat here. Repeat the 1s. But you couldn't fit a 1 in here. So you'd have to have 2 2s, which doesn't work. Alright, let's say it's a 5. Oh, 8 in here is a little restricted too. I was just looking at that. But, this were a 5. Could be like 2, 3, 1, 1, 3. It seems possible. Can't be 3 because I would force a 2 1. It can't be 4 because I would force a 3 1. There'd be no way to make a 4. Could it be 5? 2, 3, 1, 4? Ah, that's where it gets tricky. Could it be 6? 2, 4, 1, 5. 7, 3, 4, 1, 6, 8, 6, 2, 1, 7, 9, 4, 5, 8, 1. Yeah, I thought that would be more restricted, honestly. I think it would be. I think I can do something with this 8-7, right? I don't think this can be smaller than a 7. Now hear me out. Let's say this is a 8, which would force a 7 here. The lowest number you could get with a 7 would be a 7 and 1, which would be a 8. So I don't think this could be a 5, 6, or 7. And this is either a 7 or an 8. Because, you know, if you put an 8 here, where would you put the 7? Like here? Right? This could be 8. That's possible. Don't really see much else I could do. 9s are somewhat restricted in here. Somewhat restricted in this row. That doesn't really help much yet. Do 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 do. This is 7 at the most. So these can't be greater than 7. I don't think that does much. I mean, it could be 3 and have a 2-1 pair, right? Well, could it? Yeah. 3, 2, 1, 4, 5. It can't be 3. Yeah, because you can't put a 3, 2, or 1 here, so that would be 4, 5 at minimum, which is 9. And there's this awkward cell. So that's not a 3. Could it be 4? 4, 1, 3? Four, 1, 3. Dang, arrows are tricky to get started on. 4, 1, 3. So this would have to be a 2, 5. 1 seems possible. Yeah, 1 or 2 in there. That seems fine. Alright, so 4 is fine. These numbers are very low. Likely. I mean, it could be 7 and have like a 6 and a 1 or something. No disputing that one. That can't be a 6 or a 9. I don't really see that helping much. All these bulb numbers have to be 3 or greater. Let's just full notate it first. This can't be 9 or 6. This can't be 8. Uh, 2 in here somewhere, 1 in there somewhere, or 1 in there somewhere. Makes like a Tetris piece. I don't think fully notating that helps at all. A 9 most likely goes in the bulb of the arrows. Seven could be on this line. It can't be on this line. Brother. Brother, it can't be on this line, because it can't have a 1 or a 2. So 7's got to go in one of those slots, so this can't be a 7 anymore. And that might do something, potentially. 7 can't be on this line, because that can't be a 9 or an 8, so 7 in this square is kind of restricted. That is kind of crazy that you can restrict 7 that much down there. If 7 were here, this would force a 3-4 pair. Seems fine. Yeah. I don't know, there'd be like a 1-2 or something. Who cares? That doesn't seem restricted enough. One, 1, 2. This is 4 at minimum. Doesn't help much yet. Where does 2 go? That might actually help, potentially. Can't go in here, because that would force 2 1s. Hero Logic is also very hard to get started, just like that other variant. Problem is 8 is such a high number, I can't get that 8 out of the bulb as a possibility. This be a 4. 1, 2, 1. This one, I don't really have high hopes because it doesn't have the 9-8 looking at it. I still think it can't be 4 though, right? If it's 4, 1, 1, 2. Yeah, and now I can't make a 4 in there. This has to be small. So like, say this was a 8, and this was a 1. It's just dumb. There's no way that works, right? I'm self-doubting for a second. If this was a 8, it's already bigger than that, so that's obviously not it. If this was a 6, this would have to be a 1. And then this would be a 7. And then this would all be pretty low numbers, which seems fine. This would have to be an 8 or a 9. Huh, could it really be a 6? It would be really hard, but it seems like it would be doable. 6, 1, get 7. So it'd have to be like a 2 or something small. I feel like the fact that these are like mirrored seems important. Like, where do you put... Oh, I bet that's the trick. Yeah. Where do you put high numbers? Because those are all low numbers. In row 2, that must be the trick to it. I think we get a quadruple. If I can just erase the 6 possibility. Alright, let's look at the 6 possibility. So we know if there's a 6 here, that's a 1, that's a 7. And now this is a 2 or 3. This can't be a 5 anymore. Two, three, four, five. It could be 1, 2 here. I wish I could just go off vibes and say that I think it would be wrong. But I don't know. Maybe it could be. These are both small numbers, and these are also small numbers. I feel like it's got to be here. Don't have enough ones to pencil in a 1. Let's look at like this thing. What could be the biggest value of this? Could this be a 7? Well, it can't be 7 because of that. Could this be a 7? I think it could. 7 forcing a 1, 2 there. Can't be 8, we proved that. But these like elbow pieces could be 7s. And then 1, 2 forcing a 9. This can never be a 7 though. This can never be a 7. This can never be a 7. This can never be a 7. This is the only one that can be a 7. It's like so close to being doable. But the fact that this could be a 1, 2 pair is killing it. What I want to do is make like a 6, 7, 8, 9 quintuple here. But I don't see how to do that because the square could be a 7. And that just... Well, it doesn't ruin it because I still don't know what to do with 6s. But 9s, according to row logic, have got to be in one of those places. Which I don't know how to notate, but you know. 8s, according to row logic, have to be in one of these places. Which I don't know where you go from there. So I might just say that's enough Sudoku for today. Didn't mean to rhyme. But that was fun still. Very interesting. I do like XP puzzles. I didn't know they were called dominoes. I always called them XP puzzles. But yeah, cracking the cryptic. It is free. There's a lot of free puzzles actually. But you can get DLC as it prompts you to do so many times here. But very interesting. Really, this non-consecutive Battenburg, that was really interesting. That might be one of the most interesting Sudokus I've ever played. I think I wouldn't have been able to do it if I didn't watch a cracking the cryptic video this morning of he was doing one where two numbers next to each other that are along a line have to be prime. So you would have to have like odd even if you had a line. And that was really interesting. So I kind of used that. I still got pretty stuck, but I think once I used the hint and I got that the 6-8 eliminated like a ton of possibilities. Like you can't have a 5 or a 9 next to a pair of 6 and 8s. Once I got that, it wasn't too bad. But yeah, really fun puzzle. If you enjoyed this look at cracking the cryptic, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Peace out. Thanks for watching.